Hi, and congratulations on the purchase of your 100% electric Nissan LEAF. My name is Michael, I'm a business manager and an EV specialist with Nissan. Today I'm going to show you some of the main features of the Nissan LEAF to help you get started. Okay, so I'm going to start with what's underneath the bonnet. To open the bonnet, in the right-hand footwell inside the car to the right of the steering wheel is a bonnet release lever. If we pull this lever, the bonnet will pop open. When we come outside to the car, if we slide our hand in between the charge port and the bonnet, feel for the lever, lift it with our fingers and then open the bonnet. Being 100% electric means there's not an awful lot to check underneath the bonnet. We have three main items that you need to keep an eye on. The first is your coolant bottle here, just make sure that it's topped up. The second is your brake fluid level here, and then the third is your washer bottle to just keep it topped up regularly. Okay, so there's two ways to open the boot on your Nissan LEAF. We can either use the I key, the unlock button on the I key, or with the I key on us, we can unlock the boot by pressing the button underneath here, holding it for a second, and then opening. Inside the spacious boot of the LEAF, we have 435 litres of boot space. On the right-hand side of the boot, we have our travel cable, and on the left-hand side, we have our Type 2 charge cable. To access the spare wheel, we lift up the floorboard in the boot here, and the unlocking bolt we turn anti-clockwise. Our jack and toolkit to do this is located behind this flap on the left-hand side of the boot. And again, to open the car, we can either use our I key, or we can press the button on the door handle, press and hold, and open. Once inside the car, adjusting your seat and your steering wheel is straightforward. There's a bar underneath the front of the seat here. If we pull this up towards us, we can slide the seat back and slide it forward. On the right-hand side, we have a lever which allows us to adjust the height of the seat by pressing it down or pulling it up. And then to the back, we have a lever which allows us to recline the seat. Adjusting the steering wheel, if we reach in with our left hand, pull the release, and then we can adjust our steering up and down. Once in our desired place, just press it back in firmly and lock. Okay, so before we set off, I'm just going to go through some of the main features and the switches that are in the Nissan LEAF. In the SV Premium and the SVE, we have an auto-dimming rear view mirror. In the SV, it's a manual dimming rear view mirror. All LEAF have an 8-inch touchscreen, and below that we have our automatic climate control. On the climate control, we have an auto button to switch it on automatically. We can control the heat with the up-down switch here, and we can control the fan speed over here. We have a button here for our rear heated window, which also heats the mirrors, and we have our front fog button here. We have a mode button here to switch between different settings, and we have a heat button here and an aircon button here. We have a master on-off switch for switching it on and off here also. The SVE comes standard with a cold pack. It's also an option on an SV Premium and an SV. The cold pack consists of heated seats in the front, heated seats in the back, and a heated steering wheel. The two switches in the front here have a high-low setting, and they are for the front heated seats. There's a switch on the side of the passenger seat here with a high-low setting for the rear seats. And on the instrument panel over here, we have a switch which allows us to turn on our heated steering wheel. To power up the LEAF, we simply press the power button with our foot on the brake pedal. Press and release, the car will power up and we get a ready to drive button on our dashboard. The SVE LEAF has an electronic handbrake. To operate the electronic handbrake, we simply pull it up. To release it, press the brake and push down. The SV and the SV Premium have a manual foot brake, which is located on the left-hand side of the footwell. Simply press it down with your left foot, and to release it, gently press down again and release. The multifunction steering wheel on the Nissan LEAF has a selection of buttons that allow us to navigate through different menus safely while driving. On the left-hand side, we have a volume control button, we have tuning buttons, we have a back button, and then we have up and down arrow buttons which allow us to scroll through the various menus. In the middle we have the horn, and on the right hand side we have the controls for Intelligent Cruise Control and ProPilot. Intelligent Cruise Control is standard on the SV and the SV Premium. ProPilot is standard on the SVE and an option on the SV Premium. To set the ProPilot or the Intelligent Cruise Control, simply press the button once and press set. We can then alter our speed using the plus and minus button. On the left-hand side of that, we have a preset distance button to the car in front. This has three settings on it, 3 bars. The bars represent 30 metres, 45 metres and 60 metres to the car in front. We have a cancel button to cancel the cruise control, or we can simply tap the brakes or press the cruise control button again. On top of that then, we have a speed limiter button. Underneath this, we have a voice control button which allows us to assert certain commands in the car. To the right of that, we have our phone button, which allows us to answer calls, reject calls, or end calls. Behind the steering wheel, we have two stalks. The one on the left is for our indicators and for our lights. I would always recommend leaving your lights on auto. The inner switch on the lights is for your fog lights. If we turn it once, the front fog lights come on. If we turn it a second time and release, the front and the rear fog lights come on. To turn off, we simply switch it to the off position. On the right hand side, we have our wipers. Again, I would always recommend leaving them on automatic. To do so, we just flick them down once. The wipers are rain sensing, and if it starts to rain, they will come on automatically for you now. The rear wiper is on the edge of the stalk here. If we turn it once, it's intermittent. Turn it twice, and it's continuous. To switch it off, just switch back to the off position. To use the windscreen washer fluid, for the front windscreen, simply pull the stalk towards you. For the rear wipers, push it away from you. On the driver's door panel, we have the switches for our electric mirrors and our electric windows. There's a little stalk here, as you can see. It has left and right on it. We switch it to whichever mirror we want to adjust, and then using the stalk, we can bring it up, down and sideways to adjust the mirrors to suit ourselves. On the SV Premium and the SVE, the mirrors are auto folding when we start the car and when we lock the car. They're manual folding on the SV. Inside the SV Premium and the SVE, we can also fold the mirrors while we're sitting in the car. Simply press the button here, and the mirrors fold in, press it, and they fold back out. We have a window lock button below this. You can use this to lock the passenger windows in the car so the passengers cannot operate the windows while we're driving. On the right hand side, we have our central locking switch, and then below that we have our electric window switches for the front and for the rear. The driver's window has a one-touch auto open and close. Okay, before we head off to the charge station, I'm going to pair my phone to the car. This is a relatively easy task. First thing we need to do is press menu, press connections, and then click on add new. Make sure that your phone is turned on, your Bluetooth is on, and the phone is discoverable. Press pair new device, and then when my car comes up on your screen, press my car and wait for the code. Just make sure the pairing code matches, and then press pair. As you can see, my phone is now connected to the car. To use Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, simply plug your cable into the USB port located here, plug into your phone, and then follow the on-screen instructions. The Nissan LEAF has 3 driving modes. We have D mode for normal driving, we have B mode, which increases the strength of the regenerative braking, and we have Eco mode, which extends your range by adjusting the acceleration, response, and power used by the climate control. To select D mode, press the brake pedal down and slide the shift selector over towards you and down once. To select B mode, slide the shift indicator over again and down a second time. Eco mode is selected by pressing the button here. We press it down for on and we press it down again for off. And then to select reverse, we slide the shift controller over and press it up. Once reverse is engaged, it will come up on our dashboard, and in the SV, the rear camera comes on automatically. In the SV Premium and the SVE, the around view monitor comes on to give us a bird's eye view of the car. Whatever driving mode we select is displayed on the screen in front of us. And then finally we have E-pedal. E-pedal allows us to accelerate, to slow down and to brake by just using the accelerator pedal. To engage E-pedal, while driving we just simply slide the E-pedal button towards us. E-pedal will then become illuminated on our dash and it's active. To deactivate it, we simply slide the button back towards us again. Okay, so now we're going to look at our charging options. Before you use the public charging infrastructure, you will need a charge point access card. To obtain one of these cards, log on to ESB Cars eCars, fill in your details and submit the form. The charge card will then be posted out to you. You will need this card to activate the charge points. Once we're ready to charge, it's important that we power the car down first. Otherwise, the charge port flap won't open. To power the car down, the first thing we do is press the park button on top of the selector, engage the handbrake, and then press the power button off. Okay, to start charging, we need to open the charge port flap. To do this, we can either use the I key or use the button on the instrument panel to the right of the steering wheel. So I press this button and hold it down. Charge port is now open. It's now illuminated as well for nighttime use. We have our 2 charge ports, we have our fast charge port on the left, and we have our standard charge port on the right. The one on the right is the one I'm going to use to demonstrate the home charging and the travel charger now. Okay, so the first one I'm going to show you is the travel charger. The travel charger has a 3-pin plug on it, so anywhere where there's a 3-pin socket, we can plug in and charge. I've now plugged it in and the green light tells me it's ready to use. And now I just plug into the standard charge port on my car, and as you can hear, it locks in place. I can now confirm that the car is charging by checking the light on the travel charger or by checking the blue lights on the dashboard of the car. And then to release the cable, just press the button again on the I key, hold down and remove. And then to plug into your home charger at home, take the cable. There's 2 ends on it. The smaller end plugs into your home charger. And take the other end, remove the cap again, and plug into the front of the car. And of course, the real convenience of a home charger is we can charge while we sleep and while we rest. Typically, a 40 kilowatt Leaf will take between 5 and 6 hours to charge from 20% to 100%. A 62 kilowatt Leaf will take between 8 and 9 hours to charge from 20% to 100%. Okay, so now that we've demonstrated using the travel charger and the home charger, I'm going to use the Nissan navigation system to now locate a fast charge point. The first thing I need to do is press map. I then go to destination, and then I go to charging stations. So the nearest charging station for me at the moment is eCars in Kildare, and it's 17.8 kilometres away. So I just select that, and it's now set as my new destination. It's telling me that it's 21.5 kilometres away, and I'll get there for 3:55 p.m. So I'm going to start my route now. Okay, so now that we've arrived at the charging point, I'm going to power down the car, press park, activate the handbrake, and power off. I'm now going to use the button on the instrument panel to the right of the steering wheel to open my charging port. Okay, so now we're going to use the fast charge point. Nissan LEAF always uses the shadow mode charge connector, which is normally located on the left-hand side of the machine and usually blue. So I take the connector out, open the flap on the front of the car, and plug it in. Okay, so now I need to use my Access Charge card to start the charging. I present it to the machine, checks my card, and I press the shadow mode button, which is the top right-hand button here. Press Start Charge. And now I can confirm that the car is charging by the blue lights on my dash and also by the screen on the machine. Okay, now that I have sufficient charge in my car, I need to stop the charge. Again, I need to use my Charge Access card. So I present it to the machine this time, checks it again, and now I press stop. Once the machine has stopped charging, I can now release the connector. Your Nissan LEAF also comes with a comprehensive warranty. This includes a 24-hour breakdown service available 7 days a week, 365 days of the year. The contact details for this service are on the top right-hand corner of your windscreen. The service is free for the first 3 years. All Nissan LEAFs come with the Nissan Connected Services app. To explain this in more detail, I'm going to hand you over to my colleague now, Megan. Megan is an EV specialist and she's also an expert on the Nissan Connected Services.
Nissan Connect Services is a standard feature across all models of LEAF. This system will allow you to connect to your car via an app on your phone and allow you to access information such as your driving mileage, your driving range and your battery capacity. The app will also allow you to remotely activate features in your LEAF such as starting or stopping your charging, heating or cooling the interior cabin, flashing the lights or sounding the car horn. The app also has the ability to save your last transmitted location from your LEAF, and this feature is called your car finder. So this new system is 100% app-based, and you can create your account following 4 main steps. The first step is to download the app from your phone's app store. The second step is to create and validate your account on your phone. The third step is to add the VIN of your vehicle. The final step is to get the car pairing code through the menus in your vehicle. Once these steps have been completed, your app will begin to update with the vehicle information. Now that you're connected to your app, you'll be able to see all the features of your LEAF and be able to remotely access these features through the app on your phone.
Okay, well I hope you found this video useful and helpful and that you're now ready to take to the road in your new 100% electric Nissan LEAF. As usual, if you have any questions or queries at all, please contact your local Nissan dealer who will always be happy to help. Happy and safe motoring.